Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start chapter 2, that is Microsoft Access 2010. In this chapter you are going to learn about primary key and super key, queries in MS Access, and also about setting up criteria in MS Access. Previously we are knowing about database, what are its object, and how to create table in datasheet view, creating forms to enter the records and generating reports in MS Access. A computerized database acts as a container that contains various objects like tables, forms, and reports. One database may contain multiple tables. For example, the student database may have a table to refer to personal details, the other to represent academic detail, and another to show the account details. At times, a teacher may need to extract different informations to generate report card, which definitely requires your personal and academic details, whereas to check the class outstanding fee, the accountant may require pulling the personal and account details. Relational database management system is a great help in such kind of situations. In order to establish this connection between different tables of database, concept of keys is useful. The keys in database are used to establish relationship among different database tables. A key in database can be one field or its combination. So there are different types of keys that are used in relational database management system. We are going to study about that. Primary key, a field in database that uniquely identifies a record, also called as tuple, can be used as primary key. The condition to be a primary key are: it must contain unique values for each record across table, and it must not be null, that means it must not be empty. There must be some value in primary key. Second key is candidate key. A table may have multiple fields that can be used to identify a record uniquely. One of them is used as primary key. All such keys are referred as candidate key. The third key is super key. A combination of fields that uniquely identifies a record is referred to as super key. Generally, a super key is created in absence of a primary key, that is when an individual field is not enough to identify a record uniquely. Now, let us create a relational database and generate different kind of information using queries. We need to create different tables for a database. Creating table in design view. Firstly, click on design view from create tab under table group. Then the second step is you have to type the table name in the dialog box and click on OK. Likewise, here it is given is to underscore personal. Okay, the table name is this. After that you have to click OK. Now the third step is that you have to type the field name and choose appropriate data type. Okay, which kind of data type you are going to select. After selecting the data type, its properties will be displayed in the lower pane. Okay, now description is optional, that includes additional information for future reference. Okay, it's optional, no need to fill it, and if you are required then you can fill, otherwise there is no need. The fourth step is that ensure a signing up field as primary key by selecting the field that uniquely identifies the record and click on primary key button under design tab of table tools ribbon. As you can see, what we did in fourth step, that is shown in the first diagram. Now the last step is that you have to close the table from the right top of the table. Then a dialog box appear for the confirmation to save it. Click on save to save the table. Now once the table is created, it is accessible from the navigation pane on the left hand side, which is given under the table object. Setting up field properties. Once we create a table and decide the field required, MS Access allows setting of field properties. These field properties let the user define the rules for the data to be entered in those fields. The properties of different fields vary based on the data type used for them. The first is field size. We can use the field size property to set the maximum size for data which is stored in a field. The property works with the text, number or auto number data type. Okay, now the second field property is caption. Caption property lets you define a more relevant name to the field which is used as a reference. The third field property is required. Required property define whether the field may or may not contain a value. Setting it yes means that while entering the data into the table, this field must contain a value and vice versa. Validation rule. Okay, validation rules let the users set the condition for the inputs in a field. It restricts user from inputting any values in wrong format against the defined rule. For example, we can enter validation rule for stu_age field as less than equal to 18 to disallow the entry of the age above 19. Okay, we can set the criteria like that so that no any other student is able to come and join the list or table. Okay, now the next property is validation text. Okay, basically this property provides a message to the users who input an invalid data in the field against the validation rules and help them to enter the correct values in the desired format. For example, if validation rule is less than equal to 18 for a stu_age field, the validation text can be entered as age of a student must be below 19. Okay, we have to give the instruction like that. Now the last property is default value. Now default value will be automatically inserted into the field while we are entering a record. Okay, inserting and deleting a field in table. So for inserting a new field, okay, in an existing table, we have to open the table in design view. Then what we have to do, we have to select the field above which we want to insert a new field. Then we have to press the right click and we have to select insert rows. It inserts the new field above the selected field. Now if we want to delete a field in an existing table, then we have to open the table in design view. We have to select the field which we want to delete. We have to right click and then select delete rows. If then display a confirmation box to confirm if you are sure to delete the field or not. If you are sure, then you can click yes to delete the record. If you delete a field, all the data of the respective field will be lost from the table. Just keep this thing in mind, don't forget. Okay. Queries. The feature that makes a relational database a real powerful tool is to quickly retrieve and analyze data using queries. Queries is MX Access allow the user to retrieve information from one or multiple tables based on the defined criteria. The search criteria in queries can be one or a set of conditions. MS Access 2010 allows creating queries in two ways. The first is Query Wizard and the second is Query Design. In Query Wizard, it is the simplest way to create a query in MS Access. It comes with a predefined set of instructions where a user can provide input and define conditions to generate required information from one or multiple tables of the database. Now the second way is Query Design. It is another method to create a query which gives the user flexibility to modify and edit the query. Creating query using wizard. As I have said that Query Wizard is the simplest way to create query in MS Access. So firstly we will create a query using wizard. So the first step is we have to click on the Query Wizard button under the create tab. Okay. Now the second step is that when we click on the Query Wizard, then it opens the new query dialog box which is showing different types of queries that can be created. We have to select simple query wizard and click on OK as it is shown in the diagram. Now the third step is once you click on OK, it is start query wizard. Select the table from the drop down list of tables or queries. The list of available field gets filled with the same names of the selected table. You can see the diagram is shown in the figure. This kind of display you can see on your monitor once you have done the step 2, and then when you come to the step 3, then step 4 is that using the buttons in between the available cell and selected fields, okay, choose the fields that you want to select, then click arrow button to move it to the into the selected field. Once all the required fields are moved to the selected field list, then you have to click on next. Okay. When you are doing step 4, you can see the image which is showing on the top of the screen. Simple query wizard, such kind of thing will be displayed on the screen. Keep this thing in mind that right arrows are used to transfer one or all the fields from available to selected list, whereas the left arrows are used to deselect and send the selected fields back to the available field. Means just keep in mind that right arrow, what right arrows are doing, the left arrows are doing the opposite of that. Okay. Now the step 5th is that you have to choose detailed query and then you have to click on next as it is shown in the diagram. Summary basically allows the user to generate customized query such as total count or sum of data of the field, but here we are going to choose the detailed query. Okay. Now the last step is to provide a meaningful name to the query under the title text box and choose open query to view information, and then you have to click on the finish as shown in the diagram. Once the wizard is finished, it opens the selected query as shown below. The diagram which is shown, it will show exactly the same kind of output. That's it for today's class. Thank you.